Guys, back again with some more rank Patreon requests. Like I said before, guys, I'm trying to get these ranking ones out of the way first. And this ranking comes from Blue Guardian. And Blue Guardian wanted me to rank the GTA games, my favorite to my least favorite. Now, what I'm gonna do with this is I'm going to negate certain games. Now, I have been with Grand Theft Auto since 1997, since the original Grand Theft Auto, when it was, you get inside the little car, you couldn't even, the guy was, you just saw the top of the guy's head because it was a helicopter view. So all those games, Grand Theft Auto 2, Grand Theft Auto London 1969, Grand Theft Auto London 61, I'm going to negate all that. So what I'm going to do is start from 2001. I'm going to start from there, when Grand Theft Auto went to I believe it was when they went on the PlayStation 2. They started from there. So that's where I'll go from there all the way up to the last one, which was 5. We can't do 6 because 6 ain't come out. So, alright. So, got my list right here. Let's do this. I will also, I'm gonna exclude also I'm gonna exclude online, and I'm also gonna exclude I'm gonna also exclude the like prequels, like Liberty City Stories and Vice City Stories. So I'm gonna exclude those. Okay. So let's start off with number 1. Number 1 on my list is Grand Theft Auto San Andreas. San Andreas is by far one of my favorites of the Grand Theft Auto series. It ain't just because the protagonist was black. I love the whole Boys in the Hood story, because all the Grand Theft Auto games, they adapt from different movies. But I also love it because it's the first one where your character could swim. That's gonna get a plus for me, bro. But I did love the series, and what a voice casting, what a talent, voice talent they had in there. And everything from going to the barber shop, getting your hair cut, working out, getting CJ bigger, stuff like that. Like you could have him be brolic, or you can have him be fat. Just even the cameos from other characters from previous games. You had the original the protagonist from Grand Theft Auto 3. You had certain characters in there, so it was really fun. And just some of my favorite lines in there were in this. And of course, you had, like I said, you had Samuel L. Jackson in this game, playing Officer Tenpenny, who was a crooked cop, and Sean Penn was his partner. No, not Sean Penn. Sean's brother. I'm forgetting his name right off the top of my head. But yeah, Grand Theft Auto San Andreas was my favorite. And you can go to different cities, different other versions of San Francisco, Las Vegas, things like that. So I love, and I wish, and there's even part of me that wishes, Rockstar would remake some of their older games. San Andreas would be the first one I would say, remake it, give it more of a, up-to-date look. So San Andreas is number 1. Number 2 on the list is Grand Theft Auto 4. That's my second one. With Nico Bellic, and this really was the first Grand Theft Auto game to come out for the next gen systems, and I still go back and watch uh, the trailers for this game. Especially when they had the reggae star Movado use anyway. I love that song. So and besides that, also once again, while Grand Theft Auto 3 was that is Liberty City, was supposed to be an homage to my home, New York. Grand Theft Auto 4, you can clearly see they took whoever designed this, they went to every borough in New York City and was like, yep, there you go. Because that was beautiful. I love that they did that. It felt like you were legitimately in New York when that game. I love Nico. He wasn't a bad guy. He was just in a situation that he couldn't get out of. But he was a good dude though, and I love that you could be loyal to people. You stayed loyal, they stayed loyal to you. I love that about it. It was fun. It was great. Always loved it. Number 3 on the list. My third favorite is Vice City. I'm an '80s brat, so that is always going to catch me. You thought that'd be number 1, I bet. Well, you're wrong. But this was so much fun. Tommy, and you had a little bit of Scarface in there, a lot of Scarface, a little bit of Miami Vice mixed in there. It was fun. It was fun indeed. There were certain things I knew what was going to happen, like you were going to be betrayed. I was like, yeah, I get that. And shouts out to Ray Liotta for voicing Tommy in that. It was just a fun game, colorful. Another game that just had that. I love just going back to watching the opening as well. It gives you that '80s vibe of Miami at that time, and Miami at that time in the '80s was not a good place to be. So it was good. I enjoyed it very much. So Vice City. Number 4 is Grand Theft Auto 5. I love 5, and I love the fact that you can play with 3 different characters. Each one had their own story, but they do come together, and it was fun. I was just hoping, the one thing I was just hoping was we would get a Grand Theft Auto game that was not in one of the typical cities that we've seen already. We've seen Vice City, we've seen their version of Miami, which is Vice City, Liberty City, which is their version of New York, San Andreas, which was their version of LA, and things like that. But we never seen, like, I would love to see their version of Chicago, or their version of, let's say, maybe somewhere in Houston, or somewhere in Texas, or somewhere in the South, or even overseas. I would love a Grand Theft Auto game to be back overseas, like it takes place here. But I liked it a lot. I thought the game played smoothly. It was fun. It definitely was about the just choosing a different character. Whether you playing with Franklin or this and that. I love Franklin's story. His story was fun. Here he is trying to get out the game, the gang life, and I love his line. You got his bro saying like, I'm getting my money, I'm cool, and he's like, cool what? Slinging dope and throwing up gang signs. I love that. I love that stuff like that. He wanted out, and he found his way out in a sense. So I really like that about it. It was a fun game. It was fun. And yes, the last one, number the last in terms of the ranking for me is Grand Theft Auto 3. The last one. I like 3. Don't get me wrong. It really, most people will say that's where they got into Grand Theft Auto, was the third game. Props to you. I'm not going to hate you for that. Props to you. But you could tell this was only the scratching in the surface. I liked it. I just wish it just, it wasn't bad, but you could tell that you knew where this series, this franchise was going with more installments. You know, your main, and I'm not the biggest fan of your protagonist not being able to talk. He never talked ever in the game, and I don't like that. It kind of reminded me of kind of where Saints Row, the first Saints Row, your protagonist didn't talk until like maybe when they fought the last boss. Then he would say something. I'm like, okay, he's not a mute. Here, it was kind of a mute, and I didn't like that. I was like, okay, can you talk? Say something. God damn. But I love putting in the cheat codes for that and just going ham and seeing how long I can last when I get all my stars up, and seeing how long I can last. So it was fun. But I did enjoy it. But it is at the bottom of my ranking. So those are my rankings of the GTA games. Now, like I said before, I excluded 1, 2, GTA London, the GTA Vice City stories, GTA Liberty City stories. I have all those games. I just focused on the ones that you see. I even left out like the DLCs and stuff like that. But outside of that, guys, you guys tell me in the section down below, what's your favorite, rank your favorite GTA games if you're a GTA fan. If you're not, hey, you can just come by and say, hey, nice, I like the videos, thanks, give me a thumbs up, that's cool. But outside of that, I want to thank Blue Guardian, as always. Blue, thank you for the ranking. I have one more ranking, and I ain't doing it now. I'm dumb. I finally, I don't hate doing ranking videos. It's just, you're always going to get people that's going to have their, always just like, well, this should have been here. I hate that, because people tend to forget that this is your ranking, not theirs. Remember that. Why am I talking like a chain smoker? Sorry. Outside of that, guys, you take care. Deuces.